What's good, Yon Dons? Welcome to episode 12 of the Yon Show! Steph, what do you want, bro? Come here. Real quick. Just say hey. Say hey, Yon Dons.
Hi.
Okay. That's all. Today, we have a good series we are starting, right? This one is going to be called The Love Doctor. How to talk to women, how to talk to men, how to approach people, how to be confident, all this other stuff that's gonna lead you to building a better love life, you know? Because not everybody has the best love life. I don't, I'm still single, whatever you wanna call it. And I think that there's a lot of gifts that I've been able to be blessed with when it comes to two things in life. I don't have many talents. I have two skills, and it's communication and how to love others. Those two things are probably, if not the best, the only two good things that I'm really good at in life, which are fine with me. So what I wanted to talk about today is how to talk to people, right? So what we're gonna talk about is how to talk to people and kind of how to approach conversation, how to approach other people, how to strike somebody's interest. So I'm going to give you a little scenario because I think that I can always talk about certain subjects, but I would be missing the mark if I don't really give you a scenario as far as how. I'm giving you the tools, but I want to show you how to build with them. So the thing that I always want to kind of do before talking to somebody or before approaching somebody in particular is I had to get my mind right in a sense. I had to build up that confidence. I had to be ready in a way. I had to be prepared before I even engage in conversation with them. So how I do that is normally I see I see my target, but I see the person that I want to engage in conversation with, right? And you kind of feel the frequency if they've given you any. So let's say you're at the mall, right? And you see you're with your homeboy, or your homegirl, and you see two people walking, right? And you're like, okay, they look good. So first thing you want to do is kind of judge if they're even noticing you, right? And if they haven't, that's cool. But if you feel a rhythm, that kind of gives people that green light or at least a yellow light to kind of distinguish if they want to go for it or not. But if you see let's say best case scenario, you see that they've been looking at you and you've been looking at them, right? You're okay, there's a little bit of a rhythm that I can feel. There's something there where okay, I notice them, they notice me. If not, that's cool too, but that makes you have to build up more confidence before you go speaking to them, right? So boom, let's say you're hyped, let's say you're ready, let's say they check off your list as far as you're only going based off of looks, whether it's their clothes, whether it's how good they are or how good they look, their engagement as far as with their friends. Because you can tell if somebody is standoffish or not based off of how they are with other people. So if they're with their friends, obviously they're going to be a lot more nonchalant. They're going to be a lot more expressive and stuff. Their physicality as far as how they move, how they act. Because a person is very standoffish based off of their body language being closed off by showing that they have their arms over themselves. Or if they're if their friend is in conversation and they're looking away all the time, that shows that they're not engaged in conversation. Or if they're on their phone all the time and they're not speaking much. Or if you can just tell that they're not looking for conversation or they're not trying to talk to their friend. That's how you can kind of tell if somebody is more of a, I'm not going to say introvert, extrovert, but more or less if they're having a good day or a bad day, I guess you could say. So you can go based off of their body language before you even go to conversation. But let's say they've been very, for me, I'm the type of person where you can tell that I'm approachable. That's kind of where you're gauging is how approachable are they. I know I'm very approachable because I speak with my hands a lot. I'm very loud all the time. And I am always engaging in conversation with whoever I'm with. So if I'm at the mall with my boys, 9 times out of 10, I'm breaking my neck to talk to them, or I'm already in conversation with them, or I'm very pushy all the time, or I'm a very physical touch person. So I'm always bumping them or doing something stupid. So you can tell that I'm a very goofy person, or at least outgoing to them for the most part. So based off of that, you can kind of tell if they're like an outgoing person. Are they introverted? Are they extroverted? Are they looking for conversation? Are they not? Are they scoping the area too? Like stuff like that. So boom, that's step one, is kind of addressing the situation. Step two would be to approach them, right? How you approach them is up to you. Normally what I would like to do is I kind of go based off of, I want to give them a compliment first. I want to break the ice by giving them something to where it's like, it's beneficial towards them. It's not about like me getting their number. That's not the objective. The objective is just to be able to be welcomed in. So like, if it's already an A-B conversation, you have to find a reason why you should be a C in the conversation, right? Like you have to be able to give a reason why you deserve a seat at the table. Even if, okay, let's take it to a literal standpoint. If you're at a table, if they're literally sitting down at the food court eating, and let's say they're wearing nice earrings, right? And for my example, I'm going to say it's a female. And you can use this female to a male, but 9 times out of 10, the guy's going to pursue. But anyways, let's say that they're talking and they're just eating their food, yada, yada, yada. One thing you can do is you can go based off of the current situation. So they're eating, right? So you can go up to them and be like, hey, what are you eating? That looks good. Or two, if you want to go based off of beneficial conversation, you want to say, hey, I love your earrings. Or hey, like, did you just get your hair done? It looks good today. Or like, I love your outfit. Where'd you get that from? Or whoa, those shoes are nice. So you want to go based off of making them feel better about themselves, because you're already setting the tone of, hey, I think that you're very attractive. So boom, once you break the ice in a sense, then you're able to go off of that one thing, because you have to realize that you don't have much substance to begin conversation when it's with a stranger. You can't say like, hey, Suzanne, like I saw you at the gym the other day. Like, no, this is a completely random person that you want to pursue or you want to talk to for whatever reason. So let's say that if it's for the physicality, because they're beautiful or because they're handsome, you want to go over there and you want to go based off of that. So if it was me, I'm going to say, hey, your outfit looks amazing today. Or, hey, I love your dress. Where'd you get it from? Maybe I want to get that from my mom someday. Or like, dang, those shoes look good. Like, where'd you get those kicks from? Did you get them here at the mall? And then they, answer the question, or they joke around, whatever. And so right when you say something like that, you have to picture it kind of like a tree. Okay, now I have to stem off of that conversation. So if I say, hey, your shoes look amazing. Did you get those from the mall today? They say yes, or they say no. You say, okay, well, what brings you here then? If not that. And if it is, you say, okay, what else are you planning on getting? And boom, you have conversation right then and there. And so what I like to do, I've done this like a few times, but what I like to do is I want them to know that I'm welcoming myself rather than, hey, I just want your number. Like, I want it to be a conversation. So after I answer the question, or after they answer the question, what I would like to do is say, hey, I don't want to be disrespectful towards your time. I want to respect who you are, but if it's okay with you, can I have a seat? Or is it okay if I sit down? Like, I don't want you to feel uncomfortable with me standing in front of you or standing over you. So they say, yeah, that's fine. Or if they say no, then that's the end of the conversation and you go along your day. But if they say yes, then boom, that'll show you that you have earned your seat at the table, right? So that's step 2. Step 3 is just conversation after that. Like, if you're able to be a little bit more extroverted after that stage, then you're able to talk about, like what brings you here, yada, yada. What's your name? My name is Joshua Yon. I just want to introduce myself to you. I just wanted to let you know that you're a beautiful person. And, I just wanted to see if, like, you guys were going to be here long, if you wanted to hang out with me and my boy, or what do you do outside of this, or what are you guys doing after this, if you want to hang out, like anything. So if they say something along the lines of, oh, I'm about to be leaving soon, or, we're going to be here for a little while, so you guys can come hang with us if you'd like anything. You go based off of that, and you just keep going, keep going, keep going. So that's kind of how you approach the conversation. That's how you engage in the conversation. And then once you're kind of wrapping it up, and once it's all said and done, let's say you hang out. Let's say the conversation ends right there when you're sitting down. If it's on a positive note, then you're able to say something along the lines of, hey, like, let's do this again, or hey, I'd love to get to know you more. Do you have social media? Personally, I want to go for the Instagram or the number. Instagram is a way to show their personality more than like Snapchat will, but they can be a little bit more like perceptive, and plus it's only 24 hours. I think Instagram will be able to show their personality best because it's about them. If they like, you can just see their bio. If it says something like biblical, okay, like they're a little bit of faithful people, or at least they have some type of knowledge of faith. If they have a school, okay, they're going to school for something. And then like if you're right there while they're, on Instagram or whatever, let's say they're going to school, or let's say they have a school in their bio, you can say something along the lines of, okay, like I see you going to school, or like, are you about to graduate soon? What are you going to school for? Anything. And then you're stemming off of more conversation of getting to know them. It's not about them pursuing you, it's about you pursuing them. And so that's kind of how you would go about it, engaging in conversation, even more conversation, showing that you're attentive towards them. So that's basically how you would like to engage in conversation with somebody. That's how you would talk to somebody. Another thing that, let's say this is more of the chaser. That whole thing is the chaser. The person that is the attractor, which I'm going to call the law. This is more or less the law of attraction. So you're going to be the one that is attracting conversation or engaging conversation, right? So for those that want to be pursued, or those that kind of are always being pursued, let's say that you're more of the alpha type. You don't want to be the person that chases all the time. This is a lot more, this is more of a patience game, and this is more of a confidence game. Because I feel like men nowadays are being lazy in the sense of like, I don't know, I wouldn't say lazy. I think they more or less want to be identified as alpha in a sense. Like this is more or less like for my alphas, for the ones that want to be approached. Like we talked more about the person that is more the chaser, which is fine. Like you can be somebody that chases conversation and wants conversation, because that shows that you are attentive. That shows that you want that person. That shows that you're willing to engage in conversation with them. That shows that you're willing to go out of your way and invest in a conversation with somebody else. So that shows a lot of affection towards that person. But let's say you want to be a person that is approached. Let's say you want to be the person that is attractive, like I always call it, like it's called the law of attraction. So let's say you want to be the person that is attracting others. First thing you gotta have is confidence. You gotta walk in the room and know you're that guy, know you're that girl, know you're that king, know you're that queen, right? So like, for an example, let's say this will be more, this is a lot easier to explain if I were to give like in my perspective. So let's say you're at the gym, or let's say you're at school. You walk in class and you already know that everybody, like the first thing you should say, if you're at the gym or if you're at school, first thing you should say is, I'm the person that everybody's looking at. Like you have to fake it till you make it. You have to feel it before you know it, right? And so if you want to be the person that is approached, you have to already come into the campus. You have to already, like first day in school, you have to walk into campus knowing that. First day in the gym, you have to know that like you're the person that everybody's looking at. Like you have to set the precedent, set the tone that I am that guy, I am that girl, right? This is for you being approached. So you have to be worth approaching. So how you do that is you walk confident and you walk bold. You walk with nobody else's eyes even in your direction, or like not even focused on what they're looking at. You just know that they're looking at you. So you walk in there like a horse with blinders. So that's how you set the tone. That's how you set the atmosphere of like, yo, did you see them? Like, oh my God, they look good. Or who is that? Like, she looking kind of bad today. Or like, dang, she wasn't wearing those leggings yesterday. Or he wasn't wearing that stringer last night. Like, do you see what he was working out? You see what she's studying? Like anything. So when you have already built up the tone and the atmosphere of you're going to approach me, or I'm the person that you need to be looking at, that's when it's almost like a magnet, right? you have already set the confidence standard of they're not going to come to me, or I have to really be ready before I come talk to them. You have to build up that wall of, hey, like, I'm up here. You're going to have to come to me. Like, I'm not coming down to talk to you. Even if it's somebody that you think is more attractive than you, even if you think it's somebody that isn't like going to talk to you one day, you have to walk into every situation like confident. Like when you drive, you're not even looking at the other person driving next to you because you know that they're looking at you. Or when you're hanging out with your girls or your boys and you guys dressed up nice and you look good, you're already walking around with your nose in the air knowing that you're that person because you feel good. And like I always tell people, you only feel as good as you look and you only look as good as you feel. So when you walk into a room, you know that you're ready. When you walk into a room, you know that people are looking at you. And that's how you get people to attract towards you, because you're no longer the person that looks like you're pursuing. You look like the person that's worth being pursued, right? So how this works is like building up confidence, being patient, because not everybody's just going to walk up to you just because you look good or just because you walk around confident, but that is something that is going to help you out. And you mind your own business. And like, look at life. When you mind your own business, it's almost like everybody wants to know what's going on and everybody wants to be in your business. So you have to walk around knowing that I'm that person. You can't mess with me. Or like, if you want to come to me, you have to be here. Or if you want to talk to me, you come to me. And so that'll make people want to talk to you. That'll make people want to engage in conversation with you because you have something that they want. And so let's say like, and this is for both the chaser and the attractor. Let's say that people want to talk to you, or let's say you're talking to someone. If you've already piqued their interest, you can kind of tell if somebody has already had their interest piqued about you, or they want to engage in more conversation with you based off of how the conversation goes, or based off of their body language. So you kind of always want to tell, like, body language is majority of the conversation. So if they're looking at you and they're looking at your eyes, or they're watching you and they're just like starstruck, or if they're like more attentive, if their arms are open, if they're on, like, let's say you're at a table, if their arms are open and they're like engaged in conversation, if they're leaned over next to you, if they're making eye contact with you, if they're smiling, if they're laughing at every joke, like all that, then they're eating it up. Like, they love what you're doing. And so the way you have to kind of picture that is, if like, let's say they're starving, right? If somebody is starving, you want to give them a slice, not the whole loaf. Because if you give them the whole loaf, you leave them with nothing else to want from you. You give them a slice, and they're going to want a little bit more, right? Kind of like clickbait. Like if I made a video talking about some jumping off of a 12,000 story building, and instead I'm just going to take the elevator on the video, like, that's clickbait. People are already, their interest is already peaked. They're like, dang, what's he about to do next, or what's going on in this video? So you have to be able to kind of give a slice, even if you want to give a loaf. You have to give a slice so they want more. So you have to sound amazing. Not even sound amazing. You just have to be amazing. And in a way, like, when you are in conversation with somebody and you're able to give them that slice instead of that loaf that leaves them wanting more, that's how you're able to pique people's interest even more. That's how you're able to leave somebody wanting more. You leave them almost at a cliffhanger. So like, let's say you've already engaged in conversation, they're probably expecting, like, they're about to leave or you're about to leave. They're expecting either a phone number or they're expecting you to ask for something or anything like that. Let's say it's the gym. Let's say it's somewhere where you're going to see them on a regular basis. If you see them at a gym, you don't really have to always ask for stuff right then and there, because you know you're going to see them again. If it's a classmate, you already know you're going to see them again. So you don't really have to always ask for stuff right then and there. But that's that slice right there. That's that piqued interest already, because you already had talked to them. If it's somebody at the mall, 9 times out of 10, you're not going to see them again unless they work there or something. Then that's when you can, like, always ask for information, so that way you can continue to move forward. But in the situation of you're going to see this person every day or you're going to see this person frequently, give them a slice. You say, hey, I gotta go. I'll talk to you later. Or I'll see you around. And then that's when they're like, dang, you didn't ask for a number? She didn't ask for my number? Like, she didn't want more? You didn't want more? And then that's when they are pursuing you. That's when they want you. That's when they're like, okay, now I want him. Or now I want her. Like, she's leaving me on a cliffhanger. He's leaving me on a cliffhanger. He didn't do this. He didn't do that. Like, he was respectful. Like, okay. And that's when they want more. I'm telling you. Last thing I want to talk about, this is going to be more of a topic at hand that I'll talk about in a separate video, but just going along with how to start conversation and how to, pursue somebody or talk to somebody. Alpha versus beta it's like a blue pill versus red pill type deal. Basically, like, no matter what you do in life, regardless of if it's talking to somebody or pursuing somebody or wanting somebody or being with somebody or like anything in life, you have to walk into it confidently regardless. Walk into it knowing that it's going to be possible. Walk into it knowing that what you want can be done. Manifest it. Be the alpha. Be that person that is like a lion in the jungle. And something that Ray Lewis has said is the lion isn't the biggest. That's the elephant. It's not the fastest. It's the cheetah. So if that's the case, if it's not the biggest, if it's not the fastest, it's definitely not the smartest, then how is it the king of the jungle? And it's because it's the alpha. It's because it walks knowing that you're not going to mess with it. It walks into the jungle. It walks into the room. It walks into the safari knowing that you're not going to mess with it. Knowing that it is always the hunter and not the hunted. So you have to walk into every precedent, every situation knowing that you are alpha. Knowing that you are not beta. You are not a zebra. You're not a gazelle. You are the lion. You are the lioness. You are the hunter, not the hunted. And so that's how you walk into every situation confident. You don't ask yourself so many questions. We live in a society where we ask too many questions about every stupid thing. It's easier said than done, yes. But like, if you're going to want to talk to somebody, talk to them. Don't say, are you sure, man? Should I? Like, do it. If you feel like doing something, then do it. Do it right then and there. Don't ask yourself a million questions before you do something. Just do it. So be alpha. Like, if you want to get somebody's number, already have it in your mind. I'm going to get this person's number. Whenever you're doing stuff, you want to be able to always be ready. You want to be willing to move forward. You have to be ready. You have to stop asking yourself, why? Or should I do this? Should I do that? Go for it. That goes with conversation with people. That goes with if you want that person's number. That goes with if you want to talk to that person. That goes with if you want that job, if you want that promotion, if you want to make that business, if you want to start that family, if you want that car, if you want that house. You have to set that precedent of not if, but when. And not how, but when. And the time is now. So you have to be able to walk into every situation in life knowing not how am I going to do it, not where am I going to do it, not when am I going to do it, not why am I going to do it. Just take all the question out and say, I'm going to do it. Don't give yourself question, give yourself answer. And whenever you're doing that and whenever you're able to walk into life knowing that you have the answer to everything that you walk into, whether it's by what you want or by what you think, it is your decision to make that answer come to light. It is up to you to make that answer. So you make the call and you make the decision. I hope that helped you out. How to talk to people. I think that's all time. But that is how to talk to people, how to be alpha and not beta. Be confident in every situation that you have in life moving forward. And continue to know that you are the lion. You are the hunter and not the hunted. That is episode 12. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, share, turn on post notifications so you know every single time I post. I love you all. Be sure to let everybody know what we're doing here at the YON Show. Peace.